glass producers, water pumping and treatment equipment producers, water treatment for beverage industry, digital security equipment manufacturers, gas and petroleum suppliers, renewable energy players, and so on. The delegation stated that they are impressed and motivated to involve with the multifaceted investment opportunities in Ethiopia. The president told the delegation that Ethiopian government is trying its level best to expand infrastructure and ease working conditions for both home and foreign investors. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and US President Donald Trump had a phone conversation on Saturday about the accident that occurred in Ethiopia recently, according to the oath of the Prime Minister. The two leaders reportedly expressed their condolence to the people and family of both countries who lost their lives in the fatal ET Flight 302 accident. President Trump hailed Ethiopian Airlines as strong institutions and affirmed to provision the technical support where needed. Trump expressed his support for the holistic reforms that have been taking place in Ethiopia over the past months. The leaders pledged to strengthen the long-standing diplomatic relation between the two countries. Minister of Revenue Adhanech Abeebe says the ministry has collected over 17 billion revenue from different sectors in February 2019 alone. Aklu Gabradmore.
Venus has briefed media on its work performance. Minister of Revenue Adhanech Abeebe on the event said that public tax mobilization, which was already launched across the country, has brought tangible results. Public tax mobilization is on the right track because it was supported by all stakeholders. In February only, we've planned to collect 19.9 billion per income and collected 17.8 billion as a way never done before, she said. Adhanech added that customs revenue and import and export trade were improved in the past 8 months. It was also said that public awareness against contraband, strong control against contraband trade, and in favor of paying tax on time are major reasons behind the increment of income. Adhanech noted that the ministry is under reform to place skilled and enthusiastic workers of the ministry in their appropriate position. We enacted laws based on clear criteria before placement by a committee organized from all. So our parameter is proficiency than ethnic background, she said. State Minister of Revenue ምህረት Manasseh for her part noted that placement of workers was based on fixed criteria. Fake news are revolving around social media saying placement was made based on ethnic background, which was far from truth. You can come and check, she said.
The Central Statistical Agency has briefed media on the upcoming fourth population and housing census of Ethiopia. Fkar Brown had the story.
The Central Statistical Agency has briefed media concerning preparation of the fourth population and housing census. Deputy Director of the Central Statistical Agency, Abarash Taklu, said her agency has been finalizing its first phase preparation. The main preparation of population and housing census is preparing census map. We have completed this job. We have also transported tablets to census sites. We have also done a lot to increase the capacity of our data centers in order to manage information properly. Sufficient woman power is ready from the top level to the lower level. Supervisors and enumerators have been identifying by different sector offices. This process will be completed within a short period of time and ready for the job. She noted that more than 180,000 supervisors, enumerators, and ICT experts will be involved in the process of census. Leader of the census data arrangement technique team, Tabit Ahmad, for his part, underscored that the census will be fully undertaken with digital technologies. Data are not collected by paper as previous. The enumerators will use tablet to collect every information. We use CS Pro application to do so. It is said that more than 180,000 tablets are prepared for the fourth population and housing census. Director of Sociological Statistics Directorate Hailemariam Taklu note that the census is crucial to know many things about the society.
የኢትዮጵያ ሕዝብ ብዛት በጾታ፣ በእድሜ፣ በገጠር፣ በከተማ ምን ይመስላል የሚለውን መረጃ ለማግኘት
This census is very important to know the number of the country's population. It is also important to identify social and economic problems of the society. Accordingly, we will also get information of sex, ethnicity, religion, status of marriage and education. In addition, it is crucial to identify the number of employment and unemployed citizens.
The International Anti-Corruption Day has been marked for the 14th time at national level in Ambo University with panel discussion. The Federal Anti-Corruption Commission says it is working with higher learning institutions to tackle corruption. President of Ambo University, Dr. Tadesse Qena, called on higher learning institutions to work with commitment in the fight against corruption. Commissioner of the Federal Anti-Corruption Commission, Ayelin Mulalam, said his commission is working with media house to further strengthen the fight against corruption. Different papers have been tabled for discussion on the event. Presidents and vice presidents of higher learning institutions have taken part on the celebration. The day has been observed for the 15th time globally. OBN's Alamu Olika reported. Deputy Mayor of Finfinne City, Engineer Takaloma, on Friday met with a business delegation composed of representatives from leading French companies and financial institutions. The discussion, they discussed ways to invest in Finfinne City according to the oath of the mayor of the city. During the discussion, the delegation expressed its desire to engage in the development of smart city, transport technology, safe water, sport fields, and education sector in the capital Finfinne City. Engineer Takaloma, for his part, briefed the delegation about works being done to improve the livelihood of the residents and pledged to provide all the necessary support for the companies. The two sides finally set up a committee to facilitate ways for the immediate implementation of the agreements reached during the discussion. A workshop focusing on building the ethical capacity of the health professionals has been organized in Adama town. Ulkawandim reports.
Minister of Health has organized a workshop aimed at building professional ethics and experience sharing in Adama town. On the workshop, health professionals and heads of health officers drawn from all regional states were in attendance. The ministry has also evaluated this work performance of the second growth and transformational plan. On the event, professional ethics of health professionals has gathered attention and discussed on future directions of the sector. The workshop has been organized under the theme Compassionate and Respectful Healthcare Practice in Ethiopia. Dr. Aschala worked with an internist and a critical care medicine physician at Addis Ababa University. He had to say the following on the aim of the workshop.
The main target of this program is to discuss on the past experience, the current practice, and the future role of senior human resource for health. And as is known, Minister of Health has already launched compassionate, respectful, and caring human resource development on health in the second transformation agenda. And this is one of the four transformation agendas. And in evaluating this implementation process, now today we are here to discuss the role of the senior workforce. By senior workforce, we mean those who are educated to the highest level, those who served for a long time, and those who have the highest leadership position.
Dr. Aschala also underlined that many work should be done in creating a passionate and ethical health professionals.
In general, CRC is the quality of health professional. So the responsibility is also the health professional responsibility, right from its inception, preparation, implementation, and evaluation also. So from the ethical perspective, it's one of the components of the compassionate care. So health professional needs to act ethically behave ethically and minimize injuries to their clients because of unethical practice. So implementing CRC it's a mandatory that sales professionals should engage themselves into ethical way of practicing the service.
On the workshop, achievements of the sector organizations, challenges of the work performances, and future directions have been provided.
Ethiopia is finalizing preparation to introduce policy and strategy that aimed to realize improved and sustained livelihood of pastoral communities. The draft document, which took 2 years to be prepared, will benefit pastoralists that have been facing various challenges due to lack of standard policy and strategy. Let us read more on that.
Ethiopia is finalizing preparation to introduce a pastoral development policy and strategy that aimed at realizing improved and sustained livelihoods of pastoral communities. The document has the objectives of responding to the demands of communities for development and coordinate governmental and non-governmental actors and efforts to improve food security. It also aimed at harmonized sectorial policies and strategies developed in a segmented way and narrow the gap between in development and capability between pastoral areas and other parts of the country. Pastoralists that constitute 12% of the population and inhabit 60% of the area have been neglected and forgotten for years, according to the draft document. Some 90% of the revenue generated from the country's livestock export comes from pastoral areas. Despite their contribution, they have not been beneficiaries of the development of the country to the expected level because of the absence of pastoralist development policy, it says. The document has two pillars: maximizing and commercializing comparative and competitive advantages, and diversification and commercialization of livelihoods. The pillars of the policy revolve around livestock resources development, watersheds and water resources development, protection and development of natural resources, and ensure tenure security and the provision of social and economic services. Furthermore, expansion of infrastructure, entrenching good governance, building implementation capability, ensuring women's and youth participation in development activities, and building on best practices are also included. Research and Resource Mobilization Director General at the Ministry of Peace, Shanko Delele, said the document organized taking the peculiar way of life of pastoralist communities into consideration. The draft document, which took 2 years to be prepared, will benefit pastoralists that have been facing various challenges due to lack of standard policy and strategy. According to Shanko, the draft policy and strategy, which has already sent to the Council of Ministers, is expected to be approved by the Parliament this year. He affirmed that the pastoralist policy and strategy will be definitely approved and will be operational within this Ethiopian budget year after passing all necessary evaluations. Pastoralists are found in vast peripheral areas of the country that border neighboring countries in the northeast, east, south, and southwest, and partly in the central part of the country.
Thank you so much for joining us. That's all for now. Enjoy your time.